Welcome to the What's Your Truth podcast, the show that not only showcases the best of independent artists, but also explores what inspires them, what drives them, and what they consider their fundamental purpose as an artist to be. With me today is Greg Turner. He's a bassist, guitarist, and producer based in Scottsdale, Arizona. His music career spans over 3 decades, and along with stints in touring band Mushroom Brews, as well as his project Saints of Lust and most recently 10 Cent Revenge, he also owns and operates 2520 Studios in Scottsdale. Greg is the heart and soul of any project he's in, not only contributing as a primary songwriter, but also as a producer and an all-around awesome touring mate and friend. His band 10 Cent Revenge most recently released their debut EP, Road to Ruin, and they've released 2 music videos from that album so far. They've also taken the live stage by storm, playing shows opening for the likes of Angel and Steven Adler, formerly of Guns N' Roses. He's a mover, he's a shaker, and it's a pleasure to have him on the show. Welcome, Greg.
Well, hello. How did you get all that back information about me? Like, you went to the government, didn't you?
I had to talk you a little bit, but it was worth it.
That was nice. I was like, and when you said explore, I almost thought you said exploit. I'm like, yeah, either or, we're good.
Either way works, you know. You got the So,
Oh my God. That's
so
funny.
welcome, Greg. How you doing?
Doing good, man. Doing good. It's today it got up to 68 degrees here in Arizona.
Oh my,
Beauty. Beauty. Never
I'm,
gonna be upset about that.
I am so jealous. I'm in southern San Francisco Bay Area, and it got up to a whopping 51 today with rain and cold winds. So
Oh, nope.
it was
Nope.
painful.
Yeah, we're doing just fine.
I
It's
mean,
cool.
compared to the Northeast and other places, I feel like a big wuss. But either way, it's cold to
Oh
me.
gosh, in Nebraska, it's like 4. Like 4 degrees.
Terrible.
Oh my gosh.
All right, man. Well, let's get rolling. So, my first question for you
Yeah.
is, how did you decide that you wanted to become a musician?
Oh, so my dad was really into country music, and, so I listened to Elvis and Roy Clark and watched Hee Haw and all that stuff on TV, and then I went to, this house that it was a bunch of teenagers that were supposed to be babysitting me, and they turned me on to my first Kiss record. And then my dad took me to see Kiss, and yeah, that was the height of 1979, 78, 79. And so my first concert was Johnny Cash, and my second one was the 77 Kiss concert. So it's kind of that's what did it for me. I wanted to be a fireman up until I was like 7, and then once I saw Kiss, I was like, well, they got, lights and explosions and shit too, so I mean, why not? I'll just and they get paid way better and they get so many chicks. So
That is a fact. How they managed to get all those chicks, I will never know. But man,
oh
that
my
is
god. Well, then all my friends in junior high and high school, they were like shredders. They were all good guitar players and really solid musicians. And so I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go jam with those guys. And I was so bad. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna quit. I'm not gonna do it because I can't do it. Then I went to see Motley Crue, and I was like, that guy cannot play bass, and he's getting every chick in this room. I was like, that's a good job. I can do that. And I never looked back, man. I picked up bass, and then I was
awesome.
in a band immediately after that. So yeah,
That's
that's
awesome.
exactly how it works.
Good. See now, so people, you're getting truth on so many levels on this show.
Oh
Greg's,
yeah.
Greg's telling it like it is. That's awesome. And then what was the first experience you remember having with music? Like anything with music, earliest.
Oh my gosh. It was Hee Haw, and I remember Buck Owens had the guitar that had the red, white, and blue stripes,
Yeah.
and I wanted one of those so bad, and my dad actually found me one, and it was a cheap, you know, $40 copy, and, yeah, and I loved that. And then he got me, my first electric guitar, and which I tried to spray paint, that didn't work, you know? So, but no, I think that my first musical, it would have to be Hee Haw or Elvis. We had a GI Blues on LP,
Hmm.
and I remember asking my mom to sew buttons on the side of my jeans so I'd look more like Elvis, but yeah, so this is all pre-Kiss, pre-Aerosmith, pre-Motley Crue days, but I just wanted to be an entertainer. I loved everything about it.
That's awesome. Oh
Thank
yeah.
you.
And then who are the biggest influences on your work and why?
Oh my gosh. I love the 6 a.m. stuff, Motley Crue stuff, obviously. I love the Sex Pistols, love Cheap Trick.
Mhm.
Um, but that as I get older, and even in my 20s, I started listening to other bands. Like there's a band out there now called Starcrawler that just blew my wheels. I love them, and they're so unique, and like Saint Motel, and so I mean everything influences me in one way or the other. I like lo-fi jazz. I like anything that just invokes a an emotion or a vision or whatever. I'll listen to anything as long as it's good. And some things that some people don't like, I like, but I think it's different for everybody. I mean, when I went to high school, if you came to school wearing a Judas Priest shirt on Monday, and on Tuesday you came in with a Duran Duran shirt, yeah, you didn't have any friends after that, right? And now I think a lot of music is more universal. Like I hate to say, well, the younger generation, but they it seems to be more accepted that you can like country and still like metal or rap or whatever you're into, and nobody kind of ostracizes you for it. They're more accepting of, oh, you like all this stuff. So I think it's more well-rounded, which is cool.
Totally.
You know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I've observed that too. That as the years have gone on, it's become a well-rounded is actually a really good way of putting it. I think that people have
Yeah.
really become a lot less judgmental of people for the things they're into, and a lot more accepting and integrating and
Right.
interested in learning what other people are into. So that is a really good point. It's a great observation.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah, 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 yeah. So what's the weirdest thing that's ever inspired you?
Ever inspired me?
The weirdest thing that ever
Oh
made
my
you
gosh.
do something artistic?
That's wow. That's a good one.
I threw a few
Man, like,
stingers in here for you.
huh?
I threw a few stingers in here for you.
Yeah, that's a good one. No, perfect example is I met this person that they were a rock DJ at night, and during the day they were a funeral director.
Oh,
And
interesting.
they told me, and anytime I run into somebody in any industry, I'm like, what's the weirdest thing? And whatever, kind of the same thing you're asking me. And they had this story that they told me that just was so powerful that I went home and wrote a song about it. Me and my songwriting partner at the time, I came up with like a whole notebook full of lyrics for this thing. And I called him up. I'm like, dude, you got to help me whittle this thing down because I've got so much going on. And he was detrimental in coming in. And we did a video for it. We did a song for it. That was the Saints of Lust thing. But yeah, that's the one thing I was like, wow, that really inspired me. Like within 2 days, I had a song about it. So yeah, that was really cool. And that's what I like about music. And I see something on the news, or my dogs do something really fucking crazy, and then I write songs about it.
No.
So
How many dogs do you have again, by the way? Remind me.
huh? Oh, I got four. I
That's
got four. I got
awesome,
three
Terry.
Boston Terriers and a pug Chihuahua mix, which was a rescue actually from San Diego. But going back to that question, the other thing, the second one I'd have to say is if you listen to the 10 Cent Revenge EP, the song Hollywood
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
video for it, that was the first time Josh and I ever went to Hollywood.
Oh,
And
wow.
we took a train. It was like a 3-day train ride. And there's so many weird things that happened on that trip. Like we had to Uber from Sacramento to LA because we couldn't get, a shuttle down to Bakersfield because it was on fire. I mean, it was like all the things it was like total planes, trains, and automobiles. And one of these days
Really?
we'll do a whole segment on that. I'll tell you, you know, from beginning to end of our entire Hollywood experience. But a song came out of it,
That's
you
awesome.
know. So yeah,
And by the way, I've seen that video, and well, I mean, cat out of the bag. I mean, obviously, I did a show with you guys where I was
Yep,
actually in the band for the show, so I'm
absolutely.
actually very familiar with the song. And what a fucking tune, man. Even if it didn't have such a backstory to it, what a great song.
Oh, dude, thank you, man. Thank
No,
you.
I really love your songwriting. I do, honestly. Personally, I'm a fan as much as anything else as far as what you guys are doing that goes.
And that's why you moved farther away from me, but that's okay.
Well, you know, that's just because you smell funny, and I got to
Right
make
on.
sure it is.
Well, my door's always open, man. We'll write more songs together.
Oh yeah, we will.
Yeah.
So how has your art influenced other people?
Uh, I don't know if I've influenced anybody, really. I don't think about that, you know. I've never, I've had people come up and say, "Oh man, I like your band," or "I like this or that," but I don't know, man. I think there's a kid out there somewhere. I don't know his name, and he probably doesn't know mine. But back in my Mushroom Brews days, we opened up for the band Creed when they were like real big,
Right.
and they were super cool, and they gave us our own dressing room. And I was talking to this lady, and I'll do the Cliff Notes version of this story, but I was talking to this lady that had been working at the venue, and this is a huge venue, um, forever. She'd been there since like the 70s, right? And the guys in Creed gave us our own dressing room, and they fully stocked it.
Oh,
And so I was like, "Hey," I asked this woman. I said, "Would you like a soda? Would you like a Coca-Cola?" And she said, "You're the only other musician that's ever spoke to me." I was like, "Well, okay, who's the other one? You've been here since like 72." She was in 1977, right where you're standing. Elvis Presley offered me a Pepsi.
oh
And I
wow.
was like, wow, man, that's crazy, right? So we do the show. And after the show, I'm coming out and I'm walking around in my, cowboy hat, my leather pants, and all this stuff. And there's this little boy sitting out in the hallway. And I thought he was lost because he looked upset. And it turned out, his dad and him came to that show. Arms Wide Open was their big hit. Well, that was a family song.
Oh yeah.
They had a baby sister at home, the whole 9 yards, right? And I was like, well, what's he doing out in the hallway? Because they're playing that song. And he goes, "Well, we were trying to get up to the front, and people were elbowing him, and it was just it just wasn't comfortable for him, so we brought him out here."
Yeah.
And I was like, because I I looked at that lady, she happened to be down the hallway, and because I offered her a soda and had a nice conversation with her earlier, I told her what was going on, and I was able to put my lanyard on him and take him backstage. And
Oh,
then the tour manager found out about it, brought him to the stage, and Scott Stapp came out, and Mark Tremonti, and they brought this kid out on stage and just treated him like a king. And I told my wife after that show on our way home, I said, that kid doesn't know who I am. He'll never know who I am. But tonight he may have been influenced to pick up a guitar, a bass, a drum, a drum kit or whatever. But I think I influenced him in a way that I said, no matter if I fail in music tomorrow, I'll always have that. That kid will never forget me. He'll never forget that experience, even though I'm irrelevant to his story. But his story may become huge. I may be paying for a ticket to see this kid someday, and
true.
I don't remember his name. His dad was really cool, and I'm sure they don't remember me, but it was just a cool, like, I was like, you know what? I've done everything. I'm at the peak of what I could do musically because I influenced somebody somehow. But I think that's about the only influence I may have ever had, so.
That's a great story, man. That's huge. I mean, that's wow. I mean, that's actually really humbling. Is that the right- what a great just what a great story, man. That's awesome.
Well, maybe he'll find one of our Mushroom Brews CDs in the sale bin at the thrift store. I don't
Maybe I'll see this interview.
right? That'd
I
be
mean,
cool.
it could happen.
Weird.
Weirder things have
Unsolved
happened.
mysteries. That'll be our next segment.
Yeah, right. Okay. Do you have any pre-show or pre-studio rituals?
Pre-studio and pre-show coffee. I
Mhm.
love coffee. Yeah, studio especially. I love getting a good cup of Joe and getting in there and just getting everything, getting creative. Shows, really, I don't. I don't. I love playing live. I don't get nervous. I am pacing in the dressing room, ready to go. I mean, I am ready to go. So I don't know. I don't have any rituals. I'm just like, other than tuning, maybe I'll tune my bass and I'll be like, okay, I'm ready to go now. So that's about it, man. You know,
Right on. Okay,
pretty
cool.
pretty cut and dried.
And there's nothing wrong with that. So, what risks, if any, have you personally taken for the sake of your music?
Moving 1,700 miles from where I grew up.
That's a big
That's
one.
one of them. Yeah, that's about it right there. Jumping on a train to the unknown, that was awesome, you know.
Okay.
Um, Getting into a car and driving by myself to Hollywood to meet a guy that has an awesome guitar company and who I made another friend out of who wants to either was it explore or exploit. I can't tell, but uh, no, that was a weird trip because I drove out to Hollywood by myself to go to the NAMM show, and that's when you
Mhm.
and I met.
That's right.
And literally, that was based on a phone call I got saying, "Hey, you know, you got a good look. You can play bass decent, you know." And I get out there and we're doing this interview, and they're like, "Hey, come out here, maybe kind of hang out." And during the interview at the Minerick guitar, booth, they're like, "Oh yeah, you're in the band." And I'm like, "What?" Like you can see it on the video. I got this. All right, you know.
That's
Um, so yeah, that was weird. That was those guys could have been human traffickers. I don't know, but it turned out to be a good thing. So
you say it seems to have worked out in your favor. You're still here and with us, so that's good.
right, and yeah, and I got some good friends out of it. So
Oh yes. So, what's the craziest risk you've ever seen another artist take for their craft?
oh my
Maybe something
god.
you've seen from afar or someone you've known. Anything?
Wow, for their craft. I read a story in Circus Magazine back
Hmm,
in the day
yeah.
about an artist that, literally starved, for his craft, and he would go out to the back of McDonald's, and back in the day, any product, um, that was over an hour old, they had to get rid of it, but they would stack it neatly in bags and put it out, in boxes over by, the dumpsters.
Yeah.
So it was wrapped in bags. So it wasn't like, and he says, I survived on Big Macs. So literally this guy, ate out of garbage cans to make it,
Wow.
and he did. And he still has a career. And I just remember thinking, man, that's pretty hardcore when you're just literally eating out of a garbage can for your craft.
Yeah, that is very. That's a lot of dedication.
Yeah.
That's
So,
wow. I can't imagine doing that.
yeah, I can't do it, man. And, yeah, I'm like, "All right," I don't know. I have some boundaries, you know?
Yes. So, what's one thing about you that would shock everyone to know?
Oh, wow. Nobody ever believes me. Nobody ever believes me in this story, but, when I was very, very young, I was, sitting in my sister's room, and somehow my parents got into an argument, and my mom literally shot my dad right in the back with a 38, shot him right in the back, right.
Wow.
And a year later they got remarried. They were separated at the time. They got remarried, right. So yeah, that was 1970s for you, man. And they never, like, they had their issues, but I remember my dad was shaving one day, he didn't have his shirt on, and I asked him, I was like, "Why do you have a belly button in your back?" And my dad's like, "Well, that's where your mom shot me." And so I went to my mom, I said, "Did that happen?" My mom's like, "Yeah, that's what I did." So I went to school the next day, and I was in, like, God, I think I was in 1st or 2nd grade
Oh
at the
no.
time, and it was show and tell day, and I didn't have anything to show. So I told that story, right? And my teacher calls my mom, and she's like, "Mrs. Turner, your son has a really vivid imagination. He has a knack for storytelling." And he told her this bizarre story. And my mom's like, "Well, what did he say?" She goes, "Well, she said he said that you shot your husband in the back." And my mom's like, "Yeah, that happened," and hung up. So the next day at school, all my teachers were like, "Hey, buddy," like, how you doing? It was great. They were giving me candy and shit, but
That
yeah, I don't. But that's when I'd go to like corporate meetings and fun fact about yourself, and I'd say that nobody would believe me, but yeah, it actually happened.
Oh my god, that's hilarious. I mean, it sounds weird saying that's hilarious, but considering your dad ended up okay, that's kind of hilarious.
Yeah, and they would just hang out together all the time after that. It was like never any animosity, but I was like, "Man, if someone shot me in the back, I'd be like, "You know what, dude? I don't think we can be cool anymore." You
Maybe
know?
that's the true test of a marriage, man. If you can shoot them in the back and they still come back, maybe
Oh,
that's
no, they got divorced again after that,
oh,
you know?
geez. Wow.
Yeah, so
That's that's I was not expecting that, and I am legitimately shocked.
there you go, man.
Well done on that. So okay, cool. What's the one thing or the one tool that you absolutely cannot live without as an artist, and why?
Ooh, wow, that's man, you got good ones. Man, really, strings, I don't know, man. Um, I don't know, I don't have any real, like, I have some go-to tools, in my studio and whatnot. I think, probably for the studio, I really like, the, Universal LA 610. Um, I really like that as a preamp. I dig on that. I actually own a Marshall JCM 800 that, was owned by Mick Mars once.
Oh wow.
And I love that as a tool. I really like using that. It's a great head. It sounds great. I also have an 11 rack, which I like, but yeah, I don't have any real one go-to thing, honestly, that I just cannot live without, you know. I dabble in just about everything, really, gear wise, so,
Right on.
but
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
No,
That's fine.
thanks, man.
Yeah,
That was a
yeah.
good one.
Thank you. All good. And then, okay, so here's another question. This is similar to one I asked you earlier, but what has been the most difficult piece of music for you to create and why?
Well, there's one I'm working on now that's kind of throwing me for a loop, but, when I did the Saints of Lust thing, I wanted to, I was a big Pink Floyd fan. I still am. I love Roger Waters, love David Gilmour.
Yes.
Um, those guys, just those 2, like, they're totally almost polar opposite writing styles, but
Mhm.
they come together and make this really cool, uh but anyway, I wanted to rip that off. So
Right.
I set out to write a Roger Waters slash David Gilmour song by myself,
Oh wow.
and, and I wrote the music, and I played it for my singer at the time, Michael, and he was like, "Man," he goes, "I got something for this," and he came up with some really cool lyrics about it. Um, but it had all these guitar parts that were simultaneous, and yet all of them were different, and the bass line was different, and everything, and it just had layers upon layers upon layers of stuff, and it was also the first time I really mixed something by myself.
Right on.
And I remember we had to do that acoustic. We did an acoustic show, and that song was going to be performed. And I switched over to guitar for the performance. And we hired this a friend of ours, great bass player out of Omaha, Nebraska. And he came in, and we were rehearsing it. And I said, "Bro," I said, "can you maybe not be so busy on the bass line? I mean, you're really all over the place there, right?" And he looks right at me and he goes, "Well, I'm playing exactly what's on your recording." And I'm like, "Ah, okay." So that's when it dawned on me that I actually did something intricate, to
Right.
because I was hearing it back to myself, but
Yeah.
the bassist name was Troy Tompkins, and he's out of Omaha, Nebraska. He is one of the top musicians, in all of Nebraska. Like, the guy can sing, play bass, he is he's a monster, dude, and, good guy all the way around, so,
Right on.
yeah.
Very cool. And then if you were going to write a book about your career up to this point, what would you title it?
Like failures, a memoir. No, I don't know. I don't know, man. Another good one. Yeah, you gotta give me these questions first so I can think about
Yeah,
them.
I know. Let's see.
Um,
I want you thinking on your toes, baby. I want your immediate reaction.
yeah, I love that. I love that. God, I don't know. Yeah, I wow, that's a good. I'd have to use like one of my song titles or something. Road to Ruin. That's a good one. There's a
That's
good
actually a great
that
book title.
that'd be a great book title.
Well, and it reminds me of Reckless Road, which is the Guns N' Roses book.
Yeah, see,
That would
that's
so that's actually
yeah, like I wouldn't have anything like the Heroin Diaries. Mine would be like, the Taco Plate Diaries because that's what I'm addicted to.
the coffee memoirs.
Yeah, right. Like, although I did get some of we had David Ellefson in our last video, and super cool dude. I mean, just down to earth as you can get it, and an
Yeah.
insane bass player. And he gave me some of his coffee. It was called Roast in Peace. I thought that was just, it's like, so yeah, but a book title, yeah, it'd have to be, God, I don't know. Um, yeah, Sinking in Ink. I could use any one of my song titles. That'd be about it.
Okay,
So
fine. Right
yeah,
on.
there you go, man.
Good. No, those are all great. Everything you said is fantastic. I can see those all being book titles.
How about What Just Happened? A memoir. I mean, any of those, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh
So
my God.
I have two more questions. First,
Sure.
what are your plans for world domination?
Oh, good God. Like my world domination or just like like am I am I
Whatever
voting
that means to you, man. What are your plans for world
uh,
domination?
to make a movie? I really want to make a movie.
Good.
I've done a bunch of albums. I've toured. I've done I've done a lot, and I enjoy every bit of it, and even my failures have become successes and vice versa. But the only thing I haven't done is written a book, or which I'd love to do, or a movie, which I really want to do. So I think that would be my next step.
Right on, man. That's awesome.
Yeah. Thank you, brother.
And then my last question, and of course, the name of the podcast is "What's Your Truth?" And again, that's referring to like what inspires you, what drives you, and what you consider to be your fundamental purpose as an artist to be. So, Greg, what's your truth?
Wow. What is my truth? My truth is that I am just grateful for every single day that I can actually create music anytime I like. I can work with some of the coolest people. And I have worked with some of the coolest people, and I look forward to working with more cool people. So I think that would be my truth, man. It's like I'm grateful to have every day above ground.
Fuck yeah, man. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
Love
Did
it.
that sound lofty enough?
That sounds incredible, man. That was just perfectly esoteric and philosophically trivial. That was great.
Thank you. I got cue cards. No, I'm
I
kidding.
got chills and tears in my eyes at the same time. So perfect.
Oh.
No, but in all seriousness, that was actually really fucking cool, man.
Oh, I thought you were just sweating a lot. I'm sorry, man.
Well, that's just that anyway. I'm just gonna end off on this because it's gonna go in a bad direction.
As it does, man.
It does, as it does. So, before we end off here, do you have anything you would like to plug? Any shows coming up? Where can people find you? Just 60 seconds of plugging everything. Greg, go.
Oh, I love it. 10 Cent Revenge, 10centrevenge.com. Uh, Tarzana with Mangusta, great band. I believe that's January 28th.
Yeah, what's the name of the venue? Remind me. I actually should
Stop
know
it.
this, and I
Yeah,
should actually know this, and I'm blanking.
yeah. That I blanked on it. But I'll get that. I'm gonna put that up on my page, Greg Turner, Facebook. Um, yeah, you can look up Saints of Lust. You can look up, 10 Cent Revenge. New videos coming out soon. Definitely Minaret guitars, one of the best. That's all I use in the studio, and hopefully someday live. I'm waiting for a 4 string. Hint, hint. Because I'm not talented enough for 5. We all know it.
Stop it.
You
By the
know.
way, the place is called The Last Call in Tarzana.
Thank you. The last call, and when I get there, I'm going to owe the staff a shot for not knowing the name, and I'm truly sorry. So, but yeah, Aurora Strings, Sound Synergies, um, Yeah, all good things, all good things. Ivan DePrume, I just love him. I support him just because I love that guy.
I love Evan. What a sweetheart, man. Guy.
Absolutely, man. So, but
Yeah,
yeah,
we're
2520
actually,
Studios, there it is.
yes, 2520 Studios, absolutely. And yeah, and
So,
I'm actually working on getting Ivan on the show too. So fingers
oh
crossed.
my God. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Like put me in on that with him at some point.
We'll just
You can
have
make
Greg pop in his phone a friend, just sneak
oh
surprise.
my God. Either that or have him ask me difficult questions and I'll ask him difficult questions. So, and last plug is your cooking show on YouTube.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
can make mac and cheese because of you now. Thank you.
stop it. I am not, what is it, Titanica?
Yeah. Oh
I
my
am
God.
not
You
Titanica.
watch it. Yep.
Yeah, Musician Kitchen. That's right, man. I thank you for plugging me. Wow, that's flattering.
Yeah, right. That didn't sound right, but I got you, man.
Yeah. Oh God, you're right. That didn't sound right. Damn it! I gotta watch I gotta watch myself with you.
We got to go to Tucson again.
Yeah, Tucson. What happens in Tucson stays in Tucson, doesn't it?
Not really. No, it's
No,
still
it
here.
doesn't really. Things do have a way of following you.
They do. They do.
Right on,
Oh
man.
my
Hey,
God.
thank you for being on the show, Greg. It's been an honor. It's been a blast. And guys, 10 Cent Revenge, Greg Turner, check him out. We'll see you on the next episode. Peace, y'all.
Yeah, you follow your own rules and you preach them on to me. But you don't think before you act, and you ain't got no business with me. You don't know. But then what's your truth? Oh, what's your truth? Now you got down on